Welcome to Math 120 online course, Calculus and its Applications. My name is Congxiao Liu. I'm a faculty member in the Department of Physics, Chemistry, and Mathematics at Alabama Agriculture and Mechanical University. Here's my personal information. My office is located at room 257 in the engineering building on campus of A&M. My email address is my first name dot my last name at aamu.edu. Here's the course information. We're going to use the textbook by Suti Tam about calculus for the managerial, life, and social sciences, a brief approach. Since this is an online course, students will buy access code from WebAssign or Cengage. Those were two companies just combined together. So when you buy access code, you're going to create an account in Cengage by using the code, and then you can access your account from Blackboard. And then you find WebAssign in Blackboard. I'm going to make a link between WebAssign and Blackboard so you can access WebAssign directly from Blackboard in A&M. The software package includes the online textbook, online assignments, and the study tools like the videos and other resources. And the final grade of the course will be based on the points you make in the online assignments. All the assignments are online that you will do it yourself. In addition to these tools, we also have a Blackboard panel session set up to interact with students. You can post your questions in the panel, and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. I also post announcements in Blackboard for the important dates and events that you can check regularly yourself. In this course, we're going to cover 5 chapters. We're going to start from chapter 2, functions, limits, and the derivatives. And then we discuss differentiation in chapter 3. In chapter 4, we do applications of the derivatives. And in chapter 5, we talk about exponential and logarithmic functions and the derivatives. In the last chapter, we discussed integration. So let's just start from the second chapter, chapter 2, section 1, functions and the graphs. So what's the definition of the function? A function is a rule that assigns to each element in a set A only one element in a set B. So you start from 2 sets of numbers. We call them A and B. For any number in A, you pick up a unique number in set B corresponding to it. So that defines a rule between those 2 sets, and we call this rule a function. For example, if f of x equals x squared plus 3, then we set a rule between x and y, and we call it a quadratic function. It is one type of polynomial. One of the important things about functions is the domain. The domain is all the numbers in set A, in short. So for this example, since there's no restriction, on the x values, the domain will be all real numbers. And the next example is a rational function, g of x equals 3x plus 1 over x squared. In this example, what is the domain? First, we know there's a term in the denominator that gives us a restriction. Namely, we cannot take 0 for x. because you cannot divide any number by 0. It's undefined. So we need to take off 0 from the set of real numbers, and that will give us the domain. Or if we use set notation with the domain, it will be negative infinity to 0 and 0 to positive infinity. And we're uniting those two sets. In the third example, we have a radical function h of x equals square root of 5 minus x. And note that you can never take square root of a negative number. So that requires 5 minus x to be positive or 0. So we got the inequality of 5 minus x greater than or equal to 0, and you can easily solve it to get x less than or equal to 5. In the set notation, it will be negative infinity to 5, with 5 included in the domain. So we use a bracket at the end, at the right end. Now let's talk about the graph of function. The graph of function f is a set of all points x, y in the xy plane such that x is in the domain of f and y equal to f of x. So what is the graph? You plot points on the xy plane by using the ordered pairs of x, y. And it has to include all the ordered pairs of the function. So one of the easy ways to determine a function graphically is called the vertical line test. A curve in the xy plane is the graph of function y equal to f of x if and only if each vertical line intersects it in at most one point. So you just draw vertical lines and see how many points they intersect with the curve. If each vertical line intersects with the curve at most one point, then we can determine that the curve gives us a function. So that's the end of today. We're going to continue next time in 2.2.